Hello, hello, welcome everyone. If you can hear my voice, that means you are tuned in to the Vintage House Show Spotlight. I'm your host, MOMAMI, and if you're tuning in on the radio, you are listening to 89.3 FM HD1 in Evanston, Chicago. If you're tuning in on our Twitch or YouTube, welcome, welcome. I am here. We are switching it up. We got out of the radio station and we are at the wonderful, beautiful, bright, ever so wonderful Miyagi Records. And I am so excited to talk to our guest today, vinyl DJ extraordinaire, vinyl DJ professor extraordinaire, Hameedullah. Please, round of applause wherever you are, in the car, in the living room. Let's get into it. So, hi,
Hello.
welcome. How are you
I
feeling?
feel good. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here and talk a little bit about like our program and whatever you
Yeah.
got in mind.
Thanks for
More
inviting
about.
us into your space. I love the energy in the room.
Yeah,
Tell us more about yourself and how you got started as a DJ.
for sure. So I'm 30 from Chicago. My introduction to DJing stemmed from me going to college. I went to a small school in Iowa called Grinnell.
Okay.
So I can remember the first time it was the end of my first year, and it was just like a house party on High Street. And Isaac, he was like a second year, 30. I think he was a 30 when I was a first year. Real cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he was DJing. And for some reason, he's asked me. He was gonna go. He just wanted a break.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, you want to hop on?" And I was like, "Me? I don't know
So
why."
you were just thrown in it.
Yeah, I was thrown in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was thrown in it.
Was this for like a controller, vinyls?
It was a controller. It was like
Okay.
virtual D. I think honestly, I think he was using Serato at the time.
Okay.
And I didn't know anything that was going on.
Right.
And I think I just queued up stuff. I honestly don't remember, but I do remember the feeling of playing songs for other
Yeah.
people, and it was like the last day of like finals. So this is like everybody was partying and
Right.
stuff.
It was feral. Everyone was ready to just be done.
Yeah.
Out partying.
Exactly. So it was like, yeah, it was a really cool time. And from there, I just like caught that bug, I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And then from there, going into my second year, I was like, I want to keep doing this. So I decided to just do radio DJing.
Oh, for your university?
Yeah, for my
Oh,
university.
sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
KDIC 88.5.
Ooh, shout out 88.5.
Shout out 88.5.
Yeah, the college radio stations are so important and monumental to so many young DJs' growth.
Absolutely. And for the artists too, because so many artists get the breakthrough, the radio.
Get some airtime. If
Get
you're
some
not
airtime.
artist.
Yeah, definitely.
That's huge.
Definitely. So that was sort of my introduction. And then from there, while I was in college, I started making beats and rapping too.
Oh.
So I was doing that more. And then I still make music as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I graduated, I was like, I want to just do music.
Mm.
So from there, I was just going to Open Beats a lot, which is like an open mic for just people who make beats in Chicago.
Oh, here. So this was here in Chicago now.
Yeah, came
Okay.
back home. And Fest, he's like the lead, just like beat guy in Chicago. That's like my main entry point into like music stuff in Chicago was going to Open Beats. And then from there, making music, rapping a bit, and then 2020, I just got the itch to just want to DJ again.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed having a radio show. And when I graduated from Grinnell, I continued that same program at WHPK for like a few months, and I just wasn't able to maintain it because it's just adult. I was transitioning to a different part of my life, and I just didn't have the time. So yeah, like after the pandemic, I was like, I just want to DJ.
It re-inspired something in you.
Yeah, it was something. It was something. Maybe I was just.
I think we were all in that boat in 2020, just trying to grab onto something to feel alive again. And I know a lot of people became DJs in 20 during the COVID pandemic, and a lot of people were like, "There's too many DJs," but I kind of love how many DJs came out of it and actually decided to follow that passion or reignite it.
For sure.
I think it was a cool, the rise of Twitch, the rise of these at-home living room DJ experiences, I think provided this cool, low-pressure environment to experiment and explore again.
I agree. Yeah, and definitely like force people force people to practice because that's the only way they could really do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the traditional DJ route is like you're just in your room or somewhere secluded
Right.
and you're just practicing, and you had nothing to do unless you weren't following the rules. It's just like
We're still out
yeah, it's still outside.
in the
'Cause there's a lot of
streets.
people doing this too.
And so, when did vinyl DJing come into the picture? Was it around 2020?
Yeah, so I was just collecting vinyl, my parents' collection, and also buying records, in the hopes of playing it out one day.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, from the beat maker's perspective, I was just buying stuff because I just wanted to sample it.
Yeah.
So,
True. Yes.
So, yeah, it was all stemmed from just like that DJ hat and just the beat maker's hat, culminating to a point where I just wanted to share it with people.
Yeah.
So, I would say my first sort of practice in that were the gigs, unfortunately, because I just had one turntable. I tell this story to all the students too. It's just like a lot of times me going to the gig, well, all the time pretty much, going to the gig was my practice. So like the only ways I really practiced and getting to know the music, I just logged the records that I have on Discogs, and I was just like listening to it all the time. And I had one turntable at home, so I was just like listen to the music as much as possible and just get familiar with it. So when I go to the one main spot where I really played it was in Charleston. So like when I go to
Charleston,
it's a great spot. So me going to Charleston and just playing there, like I was just trying
you were
to get
getting
better.
your feet wet,
Get my feet wet.
hearing your records out, and having them tools to do a blend or do a transition.
Yeah.
So that's shout out to the Charleston. I had a vinyl set there recently, maybe a few months ago with I call her my community tia, Thelma. I comida en la casa.
Yeah, Thelma's cool.
Love Thelma, and for those who maybe aren't DJs, how would you describe the difference in vinyl DJing versus digital DJing? What's the difference for you?
For sure, for me, the biggest difference, or there's a couple. I would say the touch. So like when you're on a controller or on a CDJ, like the feel of just like getting it back into for example, like the jog wheel on a CDJ is different because like you have to like push it, and on turntables it's like a different feel. So we can't right now. On the turntables it's super different.
Yeah. I know the jog wheel, with a vinyl, when digital, the music kind of locks into place versus the vinyl, it kind of, you leave it somewhere, but it's gonna go a little bit faster, go a little bit slower.
Yeah, exactly.
You really have to keep almost a constant touch to the wheel.
Yeah. I would say like, if that's when you are like not unsure, but like that you're in a general ballpark, you have to like monitor more. But with the students, I give this analogy. It's like when you're mixing in your headphones, it's sort of like playing like capture the flag. Like
Okay.
before you go out into the other side to try to get the tag to be like susceptible of being tagged, you have to have some type of plan first. You don't just want to go in there just running.
Yeah.
So like you mixing your headphones is you having your plan, getting ready. So when you do go out, right, like it's locked in and like you know where to go.
Yeah.
Cause sometimes if you just like
that's a good analogy.
Yeah. So
for me, vinyl DJing feels like such a back and forth. Whereas with digital, it can be a little like, okay, it's locked into place, so I don't really have to think about this. I can play with the effects, or I can really I can engage with the music and the transition differently. Whereas with vinyl, it is something that I feel much more connected to. It takes like full body attention, full attention the entire time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's definitely true and valid. Cause like, yeah, if you spend, a couple seconds, it's like, manipulating the EQ. That 2 seconds might, the track might be a little bit off by then. So that's why when you're mixing your headphones, you want to get it locked in as close as possible. Yeah.
So, you brought it up. You talked about the students and some of the workshops you have. Talk to us about the, so to speak, DJ University here at Miyagi.
Yeah.
What is it, and what was the inspiration behind creating it?
For sure. So, Miyagi Records, we have a lot of other events and things that happen besides selling records. So when the owner, Nigel, he reached out to me a few months before the shop was open, and he was telling me, hey, I'm opening up the shop. Because before, Miyagi was based out of a storage unit, and you would make appointments and you would buy records. So I had DM'd Nigel a couple years before, being like, hey, I'm a young DJ. If you need anybody to like play for the Shy Vinyl Connections, I would love to. But also, if you just need, help with stuff, I would love to help out. So I helped out with a couple events, and I DJ'd the Shy Vinyl Connect. And so when the brick and mortar shop was becoming a thing,
brick and mortar.
yeah, this
and
brick
when was that?
This was March of 2023, so 2 years ago. He reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm familiar. You work in education. You also DJ.
Yeah.
I would like you to be a part of the team and come up with a DJ class."
Yeah.
So that happened 2 years ago, and then the summer of that year, we had like our pilot class. So it was composed of staff members at what was Retreat, and people who worked here, and it was like 5 people, and that's why those months prior, I was just coming up with ideas to how to make this class. So we did that, learned a lot from that, and then we had our first. I don't remember when, but maybe like 3 weeks after that first sort of pilot course, we had our first class, and pretty much, there's only so much you can learn in 6 weeks, 2 days a week.
Oh my gosh.
And there's lots to go into DJing besides just playing records and blending, Like you can make a really great musical experience without blending at all. And I make sure to really tell them that from the first day and throughout the weeks. It's like, even though the primary goal technically that we try to instill within 6 weeks is beat matching and blending, you don't have to, it's an important skill and it's the foundation in doing other turntable stuff, but you can do other things creatively outside of beat matching and blending. So the whole point of the class is to show the students what it takes to DJ at a public level. So if you want to just if you want to do gigs and you want to take this practice from in your home to outside your home, these are some skills to keep in mind and something to cultivate and develop. So we learn about brand and marketing.
Oh wow, that's so comprehensive. Yeah.
Let me try to make it comprehensive as possible. DJ etiquette. They make their own flyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're really setting them up for success.
That's what we're trying to do.
I'm really happy you're bringing this up because this is a side of DJing that not many consider. Many think that my job begins and ends the second I hit play, and then the second I take my headphones out and my USB out. It's like, okay, the work is over. I'm just waiting until my next gig. But it's the flyers, it's the emails, it's the reaching out. You mentioned DJ etiquette. What is, for those who may not know, I'm curious too, what is considered DJ etiquette? What are some things you share?
So I would say it's just tradition. And I preface that even though something that's tradition doesn't mean it suggests that you follow it, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to follow it. For example, people say a lot of house heads, they have this narrative of a party being you start off slow in the beginning and then you gradually work your way up, and then dot dot dot, and it's just like I get it, and there's a reason why elders
Have their formula.
have their formula, but like maybe you go in and if you're the opener, right, and there's like by just whatever by grace of God or whatever happened, like the shit is like booming, and like maybe you start off at 140 BPM,
right, and people are responding,
to it, like you don't have to follow this tradition. Like start off slower, then do this and do that. It's like if it was that formulaic, then like everybody, like it would be a lot more. Well, DJing is subjective, right? So I don't want to say good, but like you have I don't know. It's not that. At the end of the day, I don't think it's that formulated.
Yeah.
Other etiquette is just like little things. Like if you're going back to back with somebody, you probably just give them a substantial amount of time for them to like. Don't just leave them like, oh, here's 30 seconds. Think of something.
Right.
I think of other things.
Let me think too. What's some DJ? I personally, maybe this is more just like hospitality, but if I get there getting there a little bit before your set too, I think is
absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm guilty of getting there 5 minutes before because I'm just like I'm terrible with time sometimes. But I like to get somewhere 30 minutes early just to feel the vibes, but also ask the DJ before me, like, do you need some water? Are you good? Do you need anything? Is there something going on with the sound that you haven't been able to flag anyone? It's like for me, that day, we're a team. We're all co-workers. We're working together. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna sabotage your set, or like you're thirsty, whatever, that's a you problem. To me, I'm like, we're a team tonight. So let me make sure the people before me and after me are good while I'm here.
That is something I will take and share with the students. Nah, that's facts though, because there's been times where I play out of ego, not sabotage anybody, but like I know one instance where I was not playing back to back, but like we agreed, like, oh, you play it this hour, I play that hour.
Right.
And it was clear that she had it handled. And like what I was playing earlier, it wasn't that I had bad transitions or just like was like not playing well. The stuff that I had brought wasn't just hitting with that crowd. Okay. And then my ego was telling me, like, okay, we agreed upon this hour an hour. Like I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna still do my thing. And didn't work out. But if I were to go back in hindsight, I would have been like, yeah, like you should just keep going.
Yeah, I see.
Things
like you feel the flow of the momentum and the flow of the room. So it would have been like DJ etiquette then would have been like, okay, the people are vibing. So let's let the people vibe for like, even if it's 10 minutes longer, 15 minutes longer. I feel you, because sometimes I'm either like, it's cool, like let's like you're doing your thing. I can tell you're like getting in your groove, but then sometimes I am like, okay, it is 6:01 and I was supposed to go on at 6. Like, what's the plan? What are we doing here? But that's, I think, the thing about DJing too is that it's almost like a thumbprint. There is no one way to do it, and it doesn't look the exact same every single time.
Facts.
Even my party series, no single fever dream has ever looked the exact same. Sometimes we start on time, sometimes we don't. Sometimes the DJs start on time, sometimes they don't. Like sometimes they play the things they thought they were gonna play and then they don't. Like it's so, I think for me, intuitive. DJing is such an intuitive experience. So you have to just follow that and listen to it sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's interesting because so as a class we have 6 weeks, and then the 6th week they have their graduation. That intuition, I don't think they pick that up in that first set.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. They're gonna have to, if they keep doing it, they'll learn it. But a lot of times there's just like they have these songs they want to play,
right? And
they have it just like all lined up and they do it, which is not a bad thing. It's like people that still, people that are actively out doing it, they probably
for sure
do the sets like that. But I guess the spontaneity side of it is
that comes with time.
That comes with time too.
And practice and mastery. I think that for me, I was so in my head up until a year into DJing. And then that's when I was like, oh, here's my flow. this is how you flow. Because I was so in my head about this needs to come in at this count, and I need to time it this way, and like it's like it's almost like you're driving a airplane, and there's just so many things going, and then it was not until you get comfortable or you're like, oh, now I know how to flow in this drive. And so you mentioned 6 weeks. Is it? Are you showing them strictly vinyl? Is it all types of DJing? What are some things that you go over in this course?
Yeah, so in the course, um, basically the way this class is set up, there's two stations. So there's a vinyl station, then we have Serato. They learn our Serato, and then Serato one. Basically, I'll demonstrate like the objective for that day. So one class we learn is just like using loops and how to use loops for transitions. So I'll demonstrate what that looks like, and then they try to do that. So like one practice with the loop one in particular, they go back to back, and then at least one of the transitions they have to use um, the roll function or auto loop to like bring in the next song. So it's like a lot of it's back to back, which I think is like a cool party class because sometimes you'll be partnered up where someone plays like techno and the other person just brings like
reggae, and then
reggae. You just got to figure it out, you know. And I think for some people it could be frustrating, but I think that's the beauty of the class too. It's like, you know, we're not coming with like our own music. Like you bring what you bring,
right,
and then you just make it work. So there's like vinyl station, and for the vinyl, we practice the same two songs for 3 practices. So for the Monday or for the Wednesday Saturday class, like we'll have, you know, start off Wednesday Saturday. What do we do 2 days?
Yeah, it's a lot already.
Because it's 3 sets of records. I think it's 2 days.
Okay.
I think we work with the same record for honestly.
Okay, so you get really familiar with the
record. You get super familiar.
Okay.
Yeah. And in between then, sometimes during the last week we have like sometimes there's lectures. Like the first 2 classes, a lot of me talking, and then the second to last class, it's like they don't practice. It's like a lot of this discussion.
Okay. Yeah, collaborating in that way.
Yeah.
Now, there's so many resources available online, on TikTok, on things where it feels like people could just teach themselves, right? Why do you think it's important, or what are some of the benefits of coming to a space like Miyagi to learn about DJing versus being self-taught?
Great question. And I was asking myself this, I would say maybe 2 months ago. The reason is because like I'm self-taught, and
yeah, me too. I like pretty much like had some lessons here and there, but just figured it out or Googled it. Yeah.
Go to Open Decks was my big thing. Was going to Open Decks and just practicing. I think number one, the network of people. Like we have people still keeping in contact with each other.
Oh, yeah.
There's like alumni from other cohorts that are meeting up and practicing. Like at this very moment at California Clipper, there's gonna be DJs at the Open Decks from like 8 to 10. It's like all of them are all alumni.
Sick. Oh wow, I love that.
Yeah, so if you're at California Clipper tonight,
shout out the Clipper.
Yeah, there's Open Decks and like for like half the lineup is alumni.
Wow, Miyagi alumni.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the network of people that you gain, because it's going to be people that graduate afterwards, it's going to be people that graduated before you, and like you have this like this common theme of taking the class. So that's one. Number two, I think personally, I want everybody to like succeed in their own vision of success. Like we don't dictate it. With that being said, it's like if someone needs help with like anything, when it comes to like their vision of success, if I can't help them, I'll refer them to somebody else that might help them. Same thing with Eric, same thing with Will, who are also co-instructors of the class. And Stefan as well. Stefan taught cohort number 7 or 8. Forgot which. 7. Cohort number 7. I think it was. So yeah, the benefits of just people that just want to help you succeed, and then the network of people that you get from graduating the class. And I think that like you also just learn like things that took me a while to figure out on the spot while doing it. You just get people to point it out earlier. So you're just making more mistakes quicker.
And almost like those mistakes are getting checked and fixed, and you're growing from those mistakes quicker.
Exactly.
Versus if you're self-taught, you might have a question or something might not feel right, but you're not sure why, and you just have to wait or
or just have somebody point it out.
Point it out, right? Yeah, and I really like what you said about a network, because so much of, I think, working in DJing, but just the creative industry in general, is your community, your network. Who, if people don't know you're a DJ, they're not going to book you. If that's your goal, if that's your definition of success, is I want to play in the venues where people are going to dance. If you're self-taught, no one besides maybe your small group of people who follow you on Instagram know that you even are trying your hand at DJing, versus a space like this where you're meeting people who are in the field, maybe active full-time artists, full-time DJs. You're meeting other DJs. You're able to network horizontally, which I think is so cool.
Thank you.
You're able to, like, maybe you and someone you meet here are like, wait, we have the same interest. What if we started a party together? What if we started a collective? I think that is, to me, such an essential part of DJing.
It is. And like that same exact term I mentioned in that last class about community building is like, you're already doing that. You're building, networking horizontally.
Right. Everyone thinks, oh, I need to talk to all the big promoters and the big venue owners, and it's like, actually the people right next to you who are at your level could boost you up quicker than anyone who already has all these things can.
Facts. And you never know the person when it comes to even alumni, right? It might be one day where I look up and, an alumni is like playing Lala.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You never know, like it's
And it can happen so quickly too.
It can happen quickly, People blowing up off TikTok, people blowing up in all different types of ways, so yeah, definitely, the network of people it's crucial.
It's essential.
Crucial. Yeah.
You mentioned the alumni who are tonight at the Clipper and stuff like that. Do you have any moments recently or even in the past that were really fulfilling for you with students that reminded you, oh, this is why I do this?
Shout outs to Asia. She was on last month.
Yes, we had a Miyagi alumni last month.
Yeah.
DJ AMG. She was killing it. Like, sounded like she had been DJing for years. I was like, no way you just started. But you could tell, like, she understood the fundamentals of DJing, especially house music.
Yeah. And I feel like every cohort's different. And I never want to show favoritism.
For sure.
Like, there's students like Asians, some others where like they practice in a way where it's like they don't have their phones out, or like they're like practicing, like they know how to practice well.
Yeah.
Every cohort has like its distinct like aha moments that make you feel like, oh damn, okay, all right, you got it. Yeah, they got, like, you got it. And everybody got their own theme. Like, even if there's been times where like, because when you're a beginner, sometimes you're not like given, or if you're like new to things, you don't really know what's technically right or what's not technically wrong in terms of tradition. So like, even the way certain students will just like EQ different songs, or like bring in a song where like you only hear the highs, and then like there's a couple students like that. Like Myers was like this, Lewis was like this, Nilesh from last cohort was like this. Like, their attention to EQs was interesting. It's like, There was just make it work. Like they would texture sounds together really well.
Ooh,
And
I love that.
even though, like, if the activity was to beat match and it wasn't like locked in like that, it still sounded cool.
Yeah.
So
I like how you describe that, the texture of sounds. And I think that's what I love and almost miss about those early days of DJing, where you don't know the rules. So you're just really fluidly and creatively making it work. And just all you're relying on is, does this feel good? Does this sound good?
Yeah. Yeah. That's essential.
Yeah.
That's essential.
And you get to see that. I think it's really cool that you get to see these students in their journey, in their elite pad where they are just this is where they're starting. So that is I feel I teach high school students too, and there is something so profound about seeing them get it for the first time.
It's a beautiful feeling.
And it's like, oh, like even after all these years, there's for me, there's still something to learn and new. And sometimes they teach me things, put me onto songs, or just like you said, blend things in a way that's like, I would have never done that, but I like how you did that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of moments like that. Those are my favorite moments. And I feel like with that responsibility, I don't want to ever say something to like discourage them from doing that.
Like that's right or wrong. No.
Yeah, that, and it's also like I wouldn't like, even if I think someone does something, I'm like, man, there was one time. So there's this one activity, like the back to back downstairs, where one song they were playing, I forgot what it was, but basically it was a different genre from the other stuff that they played, and then she played something else, and I asked her, okay, what was the reason behind playing the song, and it was like what she played had like female vocals, and this song before had female vocals. And I was like, okay, I get it. But like me listening to it, just like without the explanation, I was like, I don't get this at all.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like, I could say
you're not gonna be like, don't do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it was her story.
That's her story, exactly. And I just don't get it.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. But somebody else is gonna get it.
Right.
And whoever gets it, they'll really appreciate it.
Exactly. They are out there somewhere.
I won't.
No, but I like how you put that, where it's like, you don't want to say anything that's going to make someone feel like I should or shouldn't do that,
Right.
especially when they're just this fertile mind that wants to learn. And so, so thank you for teaching us about the classes and some of what Miyagi does. I want to bring the focus back to you and your career a little bit. This is the Vintage House Show, and we are passionate here about talking about house music, but me specifically, I'm big on archiving some of the cultural happenings and the culture creators of the now. And so I want to hear more about your experience and how house music has played a role in your career, either when you were first starting or even today. How does house music show up for you?
So for me, like, as I mentioned earlier, I play out. Actually, I don't think I mentioned it. I mostly play vinyl, and like in my crate, even if I'm playing something where it's like a little restaurant, where the primary goal is for the establishment want people eating and buying drinks and just enjoying the food and the experience.
Of course.
I still bring house music.
Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I do want people to dance, and obviously I'm not trying to get like people twerking on tables and stuff, but people vibe out.
You want to see a little shoulders?
Yeah, a little shoulder, a little like head nod here and there. So like I always have some Chicago house. Like in my collection, like when I just finished organizing all my stuff.
Congratulations.
A couple days ago, it took a while.
Yeah.
But like when I look at the subdivisions of what I have, is like my biggest collection of stuff I buy is Chicago house.
Oh wow. Shouts out to that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the city to buy house vinyls. I've tried to go to other cities, other countries, and they have some house, but they also they tax for it. And I feel so lucky and blessed to have $1 house bins here available in the city.
Yeah, it's still a lot of it's still out there, but surprisingly, like a lot of Chicago stuff is in Europe too.
That's true.
Like more obscure labels and stuff. Like I try to. So let me get in my nerd bag real quick.
Let's go there. Take us there.
I wanna. Some people get nerdy about like Blue Note Jazz and like specific labels. I'm like that with like Chicago House.
Okay.
So I really like digging into Guidance recordings.
Okay.
So Guidance is a house label from like I want to say mid '90s to like early 2000s.
Ooh.
Who had a lot of like deep house and like some broken beat, like straight like Jack and House type stuff.
Ooh, okay.
And they were based out of Chicago. And I like Guidance stuff, but some of their stuff, if you look it up on Discogs, a lot of it's in Europe. And then recently, I've been trying to buy more Dance Mania stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Dance Mania.
Dance Mania is great.
Dance Mania, Ghetto House, Ghetto Tech, that is like my heart. That is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
I mean, House was like what started my love for dancing and dance music, but Ghetto House is where I really found myself, discovered myself. Dance Mania.
And that's our entry point, because we're about the same age. So like...
You said you're 30?
30.
Yeah, I'll be 30 in December, so...
Nice. Yeah, that's like... I mean, growing up, we had... You know, juke parties.
Juke parties, basements, garages.
Footwork.
At the school dances, there was juke music being played.
So that was our house. Like,
yeah,
I had uncles. I mean, my uncle's a DJ. He loves house music, but like, honestly, and I was nothing about college and radio stations and stuff. Like, my first real entry point to like, oh, I'm learning about house music was when I like dug deeper into Disclosure.
Oh, yeah. Disclosure was huge at that point.
Like 2014, 2015. I was the summer of summer 2014. I was listening to Mac DeMarco, Salad Days, and Disclosure Settle like all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, and then from Disclosure, when I was listening to like When Fire Starts to Burn.
Oh yeah.
I was just getting into Detroit stuff and like Chicago stuff and like digging deeper and trying to figure it out. And so I was just going on YouTube, just searching on music, adding to playlists and stuff. And then you just go from there and you just like learn more.
So you grew up listening to house and stuff?
I would say not really. I would like my own personal taste really developed when in like high school.
Okay.
But before that, I was just listening to stuff on my brother's iPod.
Okay.
Mom playing CDs and stuff. So it was mostly like jazz, hip hop.
Ah, okay.
And high school came around and I just started.
You're like, what's this? This groove.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? I had a lot of different phases because once Guitar Hero was coming out, I had Guitar Hero World Tour, 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
I was like just learning about rock.
In your rock bag.
I was in my rock bag for a bit, hard rock bag. Yeah.
What was your Guitar Hero song?
Man, that's a good question. So World Tour, I played I think Steely Dan Do It Again was on there.
Okay.
I'll play that. I played Band on the Run by The Wings. It's Paul McCartney and The Wings. I think that's the name of the band. Band on the Run. Yeah.
Yes. Hitting those combos.
Yeah. So I think those are the two songs I remember most vividly from Guitar Hero World Tour, which I had on the Wii.
Period.
Yeah.
Shout out to Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Truly bred a generation of music lovers.
It did. You know, did you ever play DJ Hero?
No, I never. Did you?
Nah, I think that was like a commercial failure for them.
A little bit. I think it just didn't have the same essence as the guitar.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing to translate to, I think, in a game form.
Yeah.
Because kind of like we said, like with guitar, with any instrument, there is sort of a formula to play, you know, the chords. And like if your finger is here, you're going to have an A minor. Like, you know, it's like, versus DJing, like, it's not just scratching and, you know. It's
facts. You don't even have to scratch to be a DJ.
Yeah, exactly. But it sounds like, you know, growing up in Chicago, I do feel inevitably there comes a moment where you are exposed to house.
Absolutely.
And so it sounds like for you that was high school.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. House was around.
Right. I mean, you grew up on the South Side?
Grew up on North Side.
North Side.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like no matter where you grew up, you walk down the street, you go to the park, you walk into a grocery store, there is some house music.
Yeah,
like,
something house adjacent.
You turn on the radio. I mean, this was back, I remember growing up, like, in the early thousands, they had their house music hour, they had their juke music hour. And so that was, I remember it was like the rush hour juke mix. After school, they would play.
Do you remember what station?
I want to say it was Power 92.
Power
Power 92 or WGCI.
Interesting.
One or the other.
It was not that anymore.
It was not no B96. I can tell you that. It was not. But it was like GCI or I want to say it was DJ Ferris. DJ Ferris.
Yeah, DJ Ferris used to play house music.
DJ Ferris used to do house, juke, all of that.
Now he's just drill.
Really?
That's what it feels like.
Okay.
I could be wrong though. I haven't listened to DJ Ferris mix in intentionally in a very long time.
Yeah, I mean Ferris will play sounds of the streets, whether it's house, juke, drill. He's tapped in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then when did you said now you have kind of a repertoire of house music? What brought you back, or what inspired this love for house to grow?
That's a good question. Do I even know?
It's just something your heart calls for and you follow.
I don't know. That's what I just tend to listen to now. Like a lot of rap bored me.
Modern rap.
It's just stuff that's coming out. There's a few artists I like, but for the most part, like not a lot of it really like grabbed me. House music still does, but the house music I like listening to came out of like
1990. For me, like 1992, 2003.
But that's something I want to get better at, is listening to more contemporary artists. Because there are cool people. Like, there's a lot of dope stuff that is happening that I am aware of and I do listen to, but I want to be. I want to do a better. I'm not gonna say better job. I want to dig deeper.
Be intentional. One, that kind of does lead me to a question that I thought of. As a producer and a beat maker, from that perspective, what are some things you feel are on the horizon for house music? Because I do feel that I don't think if you're from Chicago, house music never went anywhere. So that's when people are like, house music is cool again. I'm like, house music never stopped being cool here.
It's never not.
And exactly. But I do feel that we have a lot more house producers or DJs than we have ever had. And I don't know if it's maybe I'm just being exposed to them more because of things like TikTok or whatever the case is. But I'm curious, as someone who makes music, what do you see as on the horizon for the future of house music?
For the future house
Even from the students you DJ, do you see an interest in learning house music? What do you feel like future generations are going to bring to the table when it comes to house?
It's a good question. Another good question. I think that immediately I was just thinking about AI.
Oh, yeah.
And I just know that when it comes to musical production, I get all these ads off YouTube. Because my YouTube algorithm is like Smash Brothers tournaments.
Okay.
Soccer highlights.
Okay.
And music production.
Okay.
So I get
the three pillars.
Yeah. I get a lot of ads about like, oh, you don't know music theory? Get this app and AI generated house chords. And I think that that's something that's gonna be a problem for music in general. I hate to be so dystopian, but that's when you just ask feature, I was just immediately
we have to talk about it.
I think that what we talked about earlier was just talk about like formulaic in terms of like the narrative of the party. I fear that without the institutional like awareness or like education about like music production and things like that, and just people just wanting to do stuff quicker and just like making music, we'll just have like less live instrumentation and a lot more people just like depending on apps to make the songs that they want to make.
Because I mean, live instruments is to me what makes house music, what gives it its essence. The flute solo, the piano, the just the live elements.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think to even speak on that element, like when you think of music that was made in the 60s, 70s, 80s, sometimes it feels like the band, I'm like, man, y'all feel so cohesive and locked in. And you think about it, they were all recording in the same room at the same time. Whereas now, I feel that we've disconnected that part of music recording.
Yes.
Where you have someone in LA doing drums, and then someone in New York recording vocals, and then someone in Chicago putting it all together, and we're losing sort of that, for me, that kind of energy amongst each other that translates into the music. And so I really hadn't thought about that as far as when it comes to producing house music and things just feeling so just churned out by a computer. Just like, okay, computer, give me a piano, a house piano chord, and then I'm gonna add some 808s and then do some vocals, and that's it. And we have a track that gets a million, plays on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean that's already been a thing on Spotify. There was like this indie band, and it's made like I think 2 albums in 6 weeks, and some of the songs are charted on
2 albums in 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Not
something
even
like
be
that.
allowed.
Yeah, but people are listening to it. I forgot the name of the band. If you're listening, you got to do your Google research and find out. But no, it's a thing that's like apparent, like right in front of our faces right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a very important, and I don't think all technology is bad. I don't think technology is inherently bad. I just think we need to teach, and I think that's why it's great that Miyagi is offering IRL in real life classes to teach the essence of DJing, because a computer can never teach the essence and can never replicate the essence of DJing. But to ensure that people are not losing that human creative essence, but like how can we apply that to whatever technology and and use it with that informed lens.
Absolutely.
Versus I can't do this thing, so I'm just gonna rely on this to do it for me. Instead of learning it and then figuring out how to use this to maybe enhance that.
Absolutely. So I'm glad you brought that up because I think that one other benefit from the class is like they really appreciate the time it takes to really gain that ear to like beat matching and blending. Because once they do it on vinyl, right, and they have it down, right, and they got it locked in for like a few seconds, they're like, oh yeah, I got it. And then you listen a little bit more, it's like, oh, still got to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, them gaining that appreciation for the fundamentals and how the forefathers and foremothers of this genre, like how they did it.
Yeah.
And you gain appreciation for them. You don't really get it. You don't really understand it if you just go straight into digital and you just do it.
Something about that just like was really heartwarming the way you put that, to learn the same way the creators learned and did this and created this was through vinyl, through ear. I think to me, honoring that legacy is important.
Absolutely.
Even if you never touch a vinyl again, to understand the way our foreparents did it is, I think, so essential. It's to me, that's how we connect the past, the present, and the future.
Absolutely.
All that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I was talking to a coworker. Shout outs to Aaron. And he was saying, like, yes, it might get to a point in like 20, 30 years where it is like an AI generated DJ, where it's like cameras everywhere and they analyze what people are wearing and then use this generated code where it's just like, oh, looks like this guy is wearing a socks fitted cap and such and such.
Oh, so let me play a song that is popular amongst like the socks and
people who are, yeah, exactly.
And to me, and I'm so happy you brought that up because that is something that with DJs, we're analyzing a room. We're room readers.
Yes,
we are room readers. We see a group of I don't know, people, and we are a little bit assuming, but it's more just like feeling the energy, right? Like what do they respond to?
Yeah.
And that is something a computer, and I say this, a computer can never replicate that. A computer can try to use all the data in the world to think, oh, this person wearing a socks hat in this location at this time and place probably listens to this, and be totally wrong because humans are beautiful, crazy, unpredictable creatures. And I think we need to maintain and honor our quirkiness, like never lose that, because the second we become homogenous, that's when the computers win, right? That's, I think that's how we can outsmart computers, is we just have to get weirder and weirder and stay more random. Like, just, if you're listening to this, whatever you think is weird about yourself, be like 10 toes down on that weirdness, because that is what will trick these computers. That is how you outsmart a computer. So to close it, to wrap it all up, my last question for you that I really like to ask people, and especially because you said you have a assortment of vinyls, and you've played out where you like to play some house. What's your go-to vinyl? What's the thing you always have in the crate that you're like, yeah, this track will get even the driest room at least kind of grooving? I'm sure there's so many.
Yeah.
What are a few that come to your mind?
So I got a couple records like that. One that immediately came to mind. It's a compilation. I think the label's called We Want Records, but it's a compilation of like Brazilian disco and funk.
Ooh, I love that.
It's disco escultura, which is like also a phrase that's on a lot of Spanish records too. But it's a compilation. It's like black and white from I think it's Mad About Records. Mad About Records, not We Want Records. Mad About Records, and that was a record that I was bringing all the time because it's like a good comp is just like straight up just like funky dance tunes. Yeah. It's got like a slow down cut on there that's still groovy.
Ooh, I love a groovy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a comp that sticks around. In terms of just like Chicago house, something I've been playing recently.
It's like suddenly when you're asked, you forget every single vinyl you own.
Yeah, I know what it's. So it's by a label called Eargasmic.
Oh, okay.
And the owner of the label is a guy named Daryl Kura.
Okay.
He's still in Chicago. I would like to meet him one day. So
yeah, shout out Daryl. If you're listening, if someone knows,
yeah, I'm a big fan.
bring it to Miyagi.
I'm a big fan of the stuff that came out through that label. So there's one called Something Something Volume 2. But it's the Eargasmic that's red in the front, and then on the back, it's a Chicago label. And there's a song by, I think Daryl, the owner of the label, has a cut on there that I like. And there's another one by this artist named Spectre. I think the song's called something. It's like Blank Blake's Son. And I've been playing that recently.
Yeah.
So Eargasmic Recordings.
Eargasmic Record, and they're Chicago based.
Chicago based, yeah.
Love. We gotta show love to our Chicago based labels and culture creators doing it.
Yeah.
In present tense.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, where can we follow and support your work and Miyagi's work?
For sure. So if you want to find out more about my work, my label's called Lunt and Oglesby. Lunt, Lunt, and Oglesby, Oglesby. So you can just look us up on Instagram, Bandcamp. And if you're interested about all the work that happens here, just look up Miyagi Records on Instagram, or just look up MiyagiRecords.com. And there's going to be more stuff coming from the shop in the near future.
Yeah. And pull up to the shop. I mean, you can kind of see taste in the background, but there is just such a huge selection. Wonderful people who work here who are happy to help. If it's your first time, if you're a seasoned vinyl collector, I feel like there's something for everyone here. So shout out Miyagi for having us after hours. Yeah. Thank you, Hamid.
I can't believe this was an hour.
We are closing in at about 50. I think we're on like our 55-minute mark right now.
Look at that! Wow.
Yeah. So just
that was quick.
We switched it up. Typically, we do have an interview and then a DJ set, but I don't know. We were some yappers, and I'm really happy with everything we covered. We talked about the classes, the records, the hot takes, the AI, the everything. And so if you want to follow and support what we're doing, you can follow us at the Vintage House Show on Instagram. You can follow me at MOMAMI Music, MOMAMIMUSIC. Typically, I'm a digital girly, but I have some vinyl things coming up. One of them is with Miyagi, but that's in a few months. This month, I will be doing some vinyl with Vibes on Logan. I'm really, really excited for that. But yeah, if you want to tune in, I'm here every second Wednesday right here on the Vintage House Show. Thank you for tuning in if you're listening on our YouTube and Twitch. And if you're listening on the radio, this is MoMami signing off here on 89.3 FM in HD1 Evanston, Chicago. Thank y'all and have a good night.